The horns blared loudly across the pristine grounds of Augusta National. Play was suspended due to lightning in the area. But Tiger Woods wasn't thinking about the weather at all. He was 3,000 miles away. He sat watching Rory McIlroy's six-shot let evaporate right in front of his eyes in real time. And for the first time since the whispers had started circulating, he made the decision to speak out. What he said about McIlroy's preparation, about the private jet trips, about the special access that not every player has, sent the entire golf world into absolute chaos. This was not about jealousy. This was about a question that no one had been willing to ask until now. Is Rory McIlroy playing by a different set of rules? Long before this controversy ever erupted, before the private jet trips ever became public knowledge, before the six-shot lead even materialized, there were those early 4 a.m. texts. Tiger Woods, unable to sleep, would message Rory McIlroy in the middle of the night. Uplifting. What are you doing? McIlroy recalled, according to a new biography by Alan Shipnock. Erica actually got pissed off about it. He was texting me in the middle of the night, and I was like, Tiger is in the gym. The friendship between Woods and McIlroy has been one of the most intriguing dynamics in golf. McIlroy visited Woods frequently after his severe car accident in 2021. The two co-founded the Indoor Golf League TGL. They text each other regularly. They talk often, and they share a bond that few players on tour can claim. I'm drawn to him. Yeah, McIlroy said of Woods in 2022. He's an intriguing character because he could spend 2 hours in his company and see 4 different sides to him. He's thoughtful. He's smart. But when the controversy over McIlroy's pre-Masters preparation suddenly erupted, the friendship was tested and Tiger, watching from his Jupiter Island compound as his former text buddy took a 6-shot lead, had a difficult decision to make. Would he defend McIlroy, or would he speak the truth? The answer came on a Saturday afternoon, just an hour before the final round was set to begin. Woods, speaking to a small group of reporters via video call, addressed the controversy head-on. I've known Rory for a long time. He's a great player. He's a great friend, but I've also been in his position. I've had the private jet. I've had the access, and I've had to answer the same questions. He paused deliberately, letting the weight of his words settle in. Here's what I'll say. When you're at the top of the game, people are always going to look for reasons why you're winning. Sometimes it's talent. Sometimes it's hard work. Sometimes it's access. And sometimes it's all three. The room went completely silent. Woods was not defending McIlroy. He was not attacking him either. He was simply stating a fact. Access matters, and the players at the top have more of it. Rory earned his spot. He won the Masters last year. He's earned the privileges that come with that. But that doesn't mean the conversation about fairness isn't worth having. The comments landed like a thunderclap. The golf world was instantly divided. Some praised Woods for speaking honestly. Others accused him of throwing McIlroy under the bus. But one thing was crystal clear. The man who had dominated golf for 2 decades had just thrown a match into the tinderbox. The friendship between Tiger Woods and Rory McIlroy has always been complicated. In public, they are allies, co-founders of TGL, texting at 4 a.m., sharing inside jokes. But behind the scenes, there's always been an edge, a competitiveness that neither can fully hide. The new biography by Alan Shipnock, which details Woods' career and relationships, reveals a telling exchange. McIlroy once told Shipnock about the late-night text from Woods. Uplifting. What are you doing? The implication was clear. Even in friendship, Woods is always working, always pushing, always reminding McIlroy that he is never doing enough. That dynamic has played out on the course as well. In 2021, when Woods was recovering from his car accident, McIlroy visited him multiple times. The bond deepened. But when McIlroy began to close in on Woods' legacy, the dynamic shifted. Now, with the controversy over McIlroy's preparation raging, Woods found himself in an impossible position. Defend his friend or speak the truth. His comments on Saturday were carefully crafted. He did not accuse McIlroy of cheating. He did not defend him either. He simply stated a fact. Access matters. I've been in his position. Woods said, I've had the private jet. I've had the access, and I've had to answer the same questions. The implication was unmistakable. Woods was not defending McIlroy. He was acknowledging that the questions being asked were valid. The reaction was immediate. Some praised Woods for his honesty. Others accused him of jealousy. A few wondered if the friendship could survive. Tiger just threw Rory under the bus, one golf analyst said. He didn't have to say that. He could have defended his friend. Instead, he poured gasoline on the fire. McIlroy, when asked about Woods' comments, was diplomatic. Tiger's entitled to his opinion, McIlroy said. He's been in this position before. He knows what it's like. I'm not going to let it distract me. But the damage was done. The golf world was now focused not on McIlroy's golf, but on his access, and the man who had once been his mentor had just become his accuser. The timing of the controversy was not accidental. Alan Shipnoke's unauthorized biography of Tiger Woods was released just days before the Masters. The book titled Tiger, The Real Story, is filled with explosive revelations about Woods' career, his relationships, and his rivalries. One passage in particular has drawn attention. Shipnoke writes about Woods' complicated relationship with McIlroy, describing a friendship that has always been tinged with competition. Tiger has always seen Rory as a potential successor, Shipnoke writes, but he has also seen him as a threat. The late-night texts, the gym sessions, the constant reminders of who was working harder, all of it is designed to keep Rory in his place. The book also reveals that Woods was aware of McIlroy's preparation. He knew about the private jet trips. He knew about the member invitations. And he said nothing until now. The timing of Woods' comments just as the book was being released has led to speculation that the controversy was manufactured, that Woods used the moment to promote the book, that the friendship was never as genuine as it seemed. I think it's unfortunate, McIlroy said. We've had a good relationship. We've supported each other. I hope that continues. But the damage was done. The golf world was now questioning everything. Was the friendship real, or was it always about competition? Shipnoke, for his part, defended his reporting. The book is accurate. The quotes are accurate. The story is accurate. I stand by it. Woods declined to comment further. His representative said he was focused on his recovery, but the controversy was far from over. And as the final round approached, the golf world was holding its breath. The final round of the 2026 Masters began under a cloud of controversy. Rory McIlroy stood on the first tee tied for the lead with Cameron Young at 11 under par. Sam Burns lurked at 10 under. Scottie Scheffler, the world number one, was within striking distance at 8 under. But the story was not about the leaderboard. It was about what had happened off the course. The controversy over McIlroy's pre-tournament preparation had dominated the weekend. Tiger Woods' comments had poured gasoline on the fire. And now, as the final round unfolded, every shot McIlroy hit was analyzed through the lens of the scandal. The front nine was a struggle. McIlroy made the turn at 1 over for the day, his lead shrinking to 1 stroke. The gallery that had been roaring on Friday was now subdued. The energy that carried him through the first 2 rounds was gone. Meanwhile, Cameron Young was playing the round of his life. Birdies on 10, 12, and 13 pushed him into the outright lead. The patrons, who had been waiting for a new hero, began to rally behind the young American. I just tried to stay patient, Young said after the round. I knew Rory was going to be tough, but I also knew he was feeling the pressure. The back nine was a battle. McIlroy birdied 13 to tie the lead. Young answered with a birdie on 14. McIlroy birdied 15. Young birdied 16. The two were locked in a duel that would be remembered for years. Then came the 17th, the infamous par 3 with water guarding the left side. McIlroy's tee shot found the front bunker. Young's found the green. McIlroy's bunker shot was mediocre, leaving him a 12-footer for par. Young two-putted for par. McIlroy's par putt slid by. The lead was won. On the 18th, Young played it safe. 2 shots to the green, 2 putts for par. McIlroy needed a birdie to force a playoff. His drive found the fairway. His approach landed 15 feet from the pin. The putt never had a chance. It slid left, then right, then left again, finally stopping inches from the cup. The tournament was over. Cameron Young was the Masters champion. Rory McIlroy was a runner-up. The celebration was muted. Young hugged his caddy, his wife, his parents. McIlroy walked off the green with his head down, the weight of the week finally lifting. In the media center, the questions were not about Young's victory. They were about McIlroy's preparation. Rory, do you think the controversy affected your play today? McIlroy paused. He looked tired. He looked defeated. I'm not going to make excuses. I played well. Cameron played better. That's golf. He was asked about Tiger Woods' comments. He was asked about the private jet trips. He was asked about the member invitations. I've answered these questions before. I did nothing wrong. I prepared the way I thought was best. It didn't work out. That's all there is to it. The press conference ended. McIlroy walked out. The golf world was left to debate what had just happened. Had the controversy cost McIlroy the Masters, or had he simply been beaten by a better player on the day? The answer, as always, was somewhere in between. The 2026 Masters will be remembered for many things: Cameron Young's breakthrough victory, the back nine duel, the collapse of a six-shot lead, but it will also be remembered for the controversy that overshadowed it all. Rory McIlroy's private practice rounds, the member invitations, the private jet trips, Tiger Woods' explosive comments, Alan Shipnock's tell-all biography, the debate over fairness, access, and competitive balance. In the end, McIlroy did not win. He finished second, one shot behind a champion who had prepared the old-fashioned way. But the questions about his preparation did not disappear with his defeat. If anything, they grew louder. Rory had every advantage, one commentator said. He had the access, he had the practice rounds, he had the experience, and he still lost. What does that say about the value of those advantages? Others saw it differently. The fact that he lost proves that the advantages aren't decisive, another analyst argued. Golf is still about execution under pressure, and today Cameron Young executed better. The debate raged on social media. Fans took sides. Players weighed in. And Augusta National, true to form, said nothing. The tournament was over. A new champion was crowned. But the questions raised by the controversy would linger. Should past champions have special access? Does that access create an unfair advantage? And should Augusta National change its policies to level the playing field? Those questions were not going away. And as the golf world digested what had happened, one thing was clear. The conversation about fairness, tradition, and competitive balance had only just begun. For McIlroy, the defeat was devastating. He had come so close. He had played so well. But in the end, it was not enough. "I'll be back," he said. "I've been here before. I know what it takes. I'll learn from this and come back stronger." For Young, the victory was a dream come true. The 26-year-old had announced himself as a major champion, a player to be reckoned with for years to come. "I've dreamed about this moment since I was a kid. To hold this trophy, to wear this jacket, it's surreal." The green jacket was placed on his shoulders. The patrons cheered. The azaleas bloomed. And the Masters, as it always does, moved on. But the controversy lingered, and the golf world will be talking about it for years to come. For more coverage of the biggest stories in golf, subscribe and hit the notification bell.